Not bad, good size. And it wasn't until much later that Shannon brought to my attention hot air when it's hot. How's your ball joint? Mine's new. Stay with me there. Stay with me there.
First off, praise to the Most High. Glorious, you and you are the ruler, it's in you that my hope lies. Faux God, no lie, no bite, I don't play both sides. Been so down with the windows down, truth music blowing at the whip so loud, you repent when I roll by.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are. We are here at the shed. We need to inspect some things that we didn't do, things that we might have done, and fix some things that we've done. Alright guys, so we're under the S13, checking it, just a couple of things after the skid, something came to our attention, so as you watch this skid again, alright, as great as that skid was, I'm just sitting there, I'm like, yeah boy, this thing's cooking third gear. And it wasn't until much later that Shannon brought to my attention that we loosened off the whole cross member in the front and the engine mounts. And no one bolted them back up. So as you can see right here, there is like a centimetre gap. So we had to lower this bad boy to get the gearbox out, but none of us actually bolted it back up. So when I took it for a nice drive up the road, the suspension felt horrible. And I'm like, man, I don't remember this car being this crap. Well, that's the problem. And then the other problem is the old engine mounts. Also about a centimetre gap. So that was a bit worrying at the same time, hearing that information after I've gone up the road in fourth gear, just to make sure it all, doesn't slip, and then doing a third gear off standstill. Could explain why the car wanted to just kick to the right and just didn't want to stand still. So that's interesting for this. Glad none of us died, especially me, or even worse, crash. That would suck. So we'll bolt that back in, which is nice. And we'll do a bit of an alignment because he's got too much toe out. And then we're gonna just bleed off the clutch a little bit more and we should be sweet, ready for Matsuri. All right, so I thought we might just tighten the bolts up. Yeah, I'll need an extension for that rig. Just a couple turns. Nothing serious. Mate, honestly, I don't want to know what that would have been like to falling out. I'm into new things, but damn. Well, that'll give the car a little bit more reliability in terms of engine staying in the vehicle. Thank you very much. Alright, so we're just going to adjust the toe. As when Shannon did it, he put heaps of toe out, so we actually need to do a little bit of towing because there's too much toe out. It feels a bit strange. Very good. So a bit of towing. Well, it's still going to be towing out, but it was way too aggressive. Like even now, that's still fairly aggressive. But it should be a whole lot nicer. Damn thing. Yeah, this should feel better. We'll bleed up the clutch, and we'll be pretty much ready to go. Ready to go to upset basically everyone at Matsuri because Queensland's not ready for Falcons to be dominating drifting at the moment. So will help Australia take the next step in terms of motorsports. Gee whiz, you must have turned this thing so far. He's made his own thread. Thanks, Shannon. On you, mate, on your chair. On your Sonny. I know, someone's probably like, why are you using a shifter? Well, I was hoping it was going to be a whole lot easier than what it is. Oh, come on, mate. Alright. See how that goes. Cam's too big. Clutch definitely feels a whole lot better with a little bit of bleed on it. I'm just a bit unsure which way I need to adjust it. I've confused myself in thought which way I wanted to adjust it, but we'll get it down and out, go for a drive, see what it does. It's feeling pretty good. Definitely pretty happy with it. I just need to lock off underneath the dash, but it's out of fuel, so we can't really drive it anywhere. Plus, Shannon's finishing off in the back. We just got to, for Matsuri, we got to cover up all the, separate the fuel tank and stuff from the cabin. It's just part of the rules for QR for Matsuri. He's got to finish that, but it's all loose in there, so I don't want to get my head cut off the piece of sheet flying at me. So that's it for that. I think it's pretty good. Feels a lot better with the toes straightened out a little bit better. Yeah, see how it goes. Right, so we're going to get the cheeseburger, find out what I've damaged, and what's left, and what we need to fix to make it reliable. We'll jump in. Beep. Central locking works great. Fuel pumps work great. Starter motor works great. I like the windows. There we go. Bring her in. Bit nervous, but anyway, here's what it is. Upon driving it in, I've noticed a few extra sounds coming from the rear end, so we need to inspect that, but I think something, I don't know, sounded horrible. We'll sort it out. Car's up. I think the tie end, sorry, the rack end is softened a little bit in there. So I think she already had a tiny bit of play, but however now has a whole lot more. So one thing. Other side's actually completely fine. Bumper will get zip tied back together. This side's alright as well. So, pretty good. Most people are probably worried about me running like 2 sets of spaces onto each other. Well, look, the wheel's still on. I was jumping into the puddle and it's all okay. Well, a lot of mud. Don't know why. Bit strange. I don't think I straightened that bracket from last time. I need to do that. Sway bar links. It'll be alright. Front here is fine. That's what I was worried about my radiator. Obviously condenser and radiator together, but apart from a bit of mud on it, that's fine. So that's good news. Make our way down here. Gearbox looks fine. These lines I haven't zip tied because I'm planning on moving the cooler to another section of the car, so that's loose. Okay, so rack end, we'll change the rack end. Everything's still on. There's a lot of grass under here. Might need to add some extra welds to here and be fine. So a rack end, exhaust bracket a little bit, and sway bar mount. Bracket, whatever you want to call it. That's not much damage. I'm actually pretty impressed. Like, for those of you who've seen me out in the back paddock, I'm pretty impressed. These things are just tough as. Oh, and then we also need to change the harmonic balancer because when we put the engine in, that one's a bit shaky, so I don't really want to be flinging belts at Matsuri. So we're going to change that as well. And that'll be that. Other than that, this car's good. So Cheeseburger is basically ready. It weighs probably another 20 kilos with all the mud stuck to it, but I'm sure it'll shake off at Archie when we take it for a test before Matsuri. So we're going to be sweet.
Alright, so as you can see, for starters, it is ridiculously hot today, but I was attempting to get all the dirt out from where the steering rack and kind of the front of the engine is, just so we can change that out and fix a few things up. But although it may look like I didn't take that much out, I beg to differ. So right, we're going to get that sweeped up and wait for David to come back with the other parts so we can install them onto Cheeseburger.
Got some parts for the car. And I've got a big hammer and I'm hammering stuff. How could you not get excited by it? These are common for bending, so they're uncommon for unbending them. Not bad, good size. Yeah, see this? This rig adjusts things when you need to adjust. Right guys, now that that's straight, we're going to remove the sway bar, get into the rack end, swap that out. The new one in just helps with access. And then we'll get on to getting the harmonic balancer back off the engine that was originally in the car, because that was recent. Just actually putting a new one on, it's not that old. So put that on. And then we've got to look at putting the transmission cooler from the front. I don't know how this is going to go, but I want to put it in the back of the car, in the boot, I'm thinking. I don't know if that's going to cause any starvation problems for it, but we'll see what happens. So right now we'll continue with this and see what happens. ball joint, casualty, devastated. But the old ball joiner, she is well cooked. So, damn, we have to fix that. Alright, well that's going to fix that before Mount Series. So, I don't think that was particularly from us out the back, but these were new arms many years ago now, so they're obviously taking a toll, and that's where we're at now. So that one was changed when I hit the wall at Archie, so that one's changed a long time ago, but this one's obviously, it's due. Unfortunately, I'm a bit annoyed about that, but it is what it is. Welcome to drifting. As you guys probably guessed it, we're in the engine bay and we're going to pull the harmonic balancer off. I already got the other one off the other engine, ready here to go. GG doesn't look that great, but it's not that old. And they're not cheap. So it's going on this car. And that's what we're doing. So that's what you'll probably witness. As probably the majority of the people watching this channel, they probably have an AE Falcon. This is the tool that you need to change a harmonic balancer. I see people using these like other different pullers and they're like ripping things apart. You just got to spend you almost $300 to get this bad boy, and they come off a breeze. You don't need to pull the radiator out and any of that. That was getting in the way. It literally clips on, and yeah. How's your father? All right. Then as it's clipped on, you just do this and it pulls her off. Normally the engine compression holds the motor in place, so you don't have to worry about it. I mean, obviously this car's got auto, so I can't put it in gear to do anything about that. So as you get towards the end of the thing, it'll loosen up, and then you just want to grab it, so then put a hole in your radiator. Just like that. No worries. This one's not even old either. This thing was shaking horribly. Oh well. Right, throw the other one on. GG. You got carried away. I decided to put the air filter on the car. So rocks don't go in the engine because it had nothing on there. So I thought might as well do this, and it'll be, yeah. Plus I'm gonna do, it's gonna have a fully hectic cold air intake here. So this is probably a better option to have an air filter to keep the longevity of the red top performance.
So you've got even more carried away. What are you doing?
I have got more carried away. I decided to put the full-on cold air intake thing that Sam made. That looks a bit hideous. Didn't look as hideous when he first did it. It actually looked pretty good, but the fade took a toll on the light. And the silicone doesn't look as... I mean, the concept was really great, and it did look alright, but that's going to be far better. You went to a lot of effort to make this, but cold air. Hot, or hot air when it's hot. Alright, we're back from lunch, guys. I had a cheeseburger. I have a cheeseburger every day. Could be why I'm getting fat. Total side note. Pulling the ball joint out. I forgot the parts. Got to go back over to the other shop. Get the puller and the ball joint. Press it back in. Get it going. Let's go. Come on. Don't slow me down. How's your ball joint? Mine's new. Stay with me there. Stay with me there. Alright, so old one's out. Luckily I've got this like think it was almost $500 this tool. We do, I don't know, weekly, so this bad boy saves a lot of time, gets the jobs done faster for everyone, so we can do more jobs, which is nice. Apparently, we're meant to make extra dollars, but anyway. Yeah, so we'll put the new one in and we'll be good to go. Alright, so ball joint, everything is in the car. We basically just inject the wheel on, but I just had Shannon's D1R Lenzo wheels on the ground here, which are a 17 by 10 POS 15. And with the 70mm bolt-ons, I thought let's just see how it would sit. It'd be about a neg 55 or whatever it is. I reckon we could pull that off.
Looks like you got wires pumped.
It'll never fit on the trailer, because this car doesn't fit on the trailer with the wheels poking out already. Still very tempting. It's just I'm going to hit everyone so easily with the wheels. But that's it for the cheeseburger. He is ready to go to Archie on Thursday. So we're going to go test it before that. Siri, make sure it's all good and swell and nice. Bumpers back together. That's what I love about this bumper. You just zip tie this thing back together and it's good enough. I mean, the car is hideous. This is just works. Hope you enjoyed. Catch us up at Siri. Come check it out if you want. We're going to try and take passenger rides, see how we go with things and all that, because we obviously want to try and film stuff as well, because we normally just don't, because we just start driving and we just start filming. We just want to drive. So we're going to try and do some filming with all that. So thanks again. Catch us on the flip side of this. Catch you in the next video. I've got to fix the fouling, which is just exciting. See you soon.